This is Advanced Music AP, and today's date is 1/18/2011. This is for Gina. First thing, Gina, you have to turn to page 293 in your textbook. At the bottom of the page, assignment 13.9, there are 3 melodies, number 1 through 3. 2 of them are in minor keys, 1 is major key. You are to write the solfege and sing them. This is homework, and it's due on Wednesday, but I will accept on Thursday because we don't have that extra day. Next thing that we went over today is in your book, and it is the new chords. Please open your book to page number 278. I'm making a recording right now. The dominant 7th chord and the supertonic 7th, they both have something in common. That is the 7. An additional note that we're going to be adding, and every time you use a 7th, you circle it because it's a dissonance that has to resolve. In your book, on page no, it's a dissonance that resolves down. That's on page 279. 279 at the top of the page. Note that all the ways you use this 7th are figures in that the dissonance resolves down. That's a characteristic of almost all 7ths. There's one instance when it resolves up, but we're going to be working mostly with dissonances that resolve down. On page 279, there are the 4 ways they come. They come as passing tone, bum, 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 resolving down. They come as suspension, bum, 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 resolving down. You could do it as an appoggiatura. Down here, la, la, la. Leap to it and step down. And the upper neighbor. Bum, bum, bum. Notice they all step down to resolve. This is a pretty confusing page. The 5/7, I'm going to focus on the 5/7, can be used freely in any inversion. That is on page 281. It's used freely in any inversion in major and in minor keys. So if you're going to use it freely in inversion, you have to know what to call it. When it's in root position, you call it 5/7. Sol, ti, re, fa. When it's in first inversion, the lowest note is no longer the root. Now it's got ti, re, fa, sol. And the numbers change. If you count up from the lowest note, which the bass would be on T, the first interval is a 3rd. The next interval is a 5th, and the last interval is a 6th. So it looks like 5, 6, 5, 3. We have to put the 6 there because that tells you it's first inversion. We have to put the 5 there because that is the circled note, and it has to be in the figured bass. The 3, we expect for there to be a 3rd in all chords. So we're going to just say, we don't have to write 3. Let's just write the 6, 5. That's good enough. So I'm not going to put the 3. In second inversion, the intervals above the bass are a 3rd and a 4th and a 6th. If you count above the lowest note, which is the C in this inversion, second inversion. So 6, 4, 3, I have to put the 3 because that is the non-harmonic tone. That's the E flat, so I can't get rid of that. I have to put the 4 because that tells me it's second inversion. I don't need the 6 because the 4 tells me second inversion. The 6 is just extra. So I don't really need that. The last one, third inversion. Doesn't have the root, doesn't have the third, doesn't have the fifth. The 7th is the lowest note. And that I indicate with the first interval, which is a second, the next interval, which is a fourth, and the last interval, which is a sixth. And guess what? I can get rid of one of these, so I get rid of the 6 because I expect it, because the 4th tells me it's second inversion. So I don't write 5, 6, 4, 2. I just write 5, 4, 2. You have to take notes on this. There's a nice blank space on the bottom of page 280 where you can write these down so you know that a root position 5-7 or 2-7 is V7 or 2-7. First inversion 5-7 or 2-7 is written V6-5 or II6-5. Second inversion 5-7 or 2-7 is written V4-3 or II4-3. And third inversion of each of these chords is either V4-2 or II4-2. Now the next thing is, what do I do? Do I have to always use all the notes, or can I double something? When you're in root position, you have a choice. You can have one root, 1/3, 1/5, 1/7. But if it doesn't work out part writing wise, you can double the root. We love to double the root. Root, root, third, but I can't have everything, so I sacrifice the 5th. He's out of there. Goodbye. No 5th when I double the root, because the 5th is not essential. Everything else is essential. So root position, 2 choices. One of everything, or double the root, omit the 5th. When you have an inverted 5-7 or 2-7, you always use every note. Root, 3rd, 5th, 7. Don't double anything. Use one of everything. That makes it easy to remember. Okay, what's next? Oh, I'm going to page number, I'm going to skip. Going to bottom of 284. On page 284, it tells you that the 2-7 is usually used in first inversion. Now you'll see it in root position. You'll see it most often in first inversion. You'll see it sometimes in second inversion, and you'll see it sometimes in third inversion. But notice that I've got all the attention focused on first inversion, because on the bottom of 284 it says it's used far more frequently than the other positions, though all of them are useful. Notice first inversion has the numbers 6, 5. The homework for today is page 288. Numbers 1 through 4. You're to name the keys, do the part writing, circle the non-harmonic tones, Roman numeral analysis, circle the 7th, and label it. You have 4 choices for a label. You can label it as a passing tone, you can label it as a suspension, label it as an appoggiatura, or it could be a upper neighbor tone. And you just look at it and you can tell the end